All right, good afternoon, cyber traders. Welcome on back this post FOMC meeting day, this Wednesday, March 22nd. Great to have Mark with us at least, and Dan, and all of us just joining us back live inside our live trading room. Sam and Nicholas as well. Great to have all of us back collectively. Just give me a quick sound check if you could hear me, folks. Should be good to go inside our live trading room. Uh-oh, actually, I could tell we're not on our live trading room. I believe I'm good to go on social media, so give me a quick sec. I might just need to refresh my page inside our trading room. 1 second here, folks. Pardon me there for LinkedIn, Facebook Live, YouTube, the works. I'm good to go across the board for you folks there. All right, let's try this again. Test 1, 2 for all of us here live. Mark, Dan, Sam, Nick included. If you can give me a quick sound check. There we go. To cure my paranoia, I was talking to myself at least there, or for all of us as well on social media. But good to go across the board now. Mark, Patrick, Ravina, Sydney, Phil, and Bill. Perfect. All right, so we got a lot to talk about here. I got to save the water here coming up for the Fed meeting. Also for class coming up ahead, we're continuing the phase 1 stock course lined up at 3:05 Eastern time, working off 2 pulled wisdom teeth right now. So I'm going to be talking a little funky, so my apologies in advance. But the Fed ended up concluding. So actually Powell's beginning his press conference right now. A bit of a competitive 2:30 time slot for me here. But the Fed ended up raising the interest rates by another 25 basis points. The main headline that came out at 2 o'clock was that the Fed says that recent indicators point to modest growth in spending and production. Job gains have picked up in recent months and are running at a robust pace. The unemployment rate has remained low. Inflation remains elevated. There's a lot more to it than that. You're actually getting some headlines coming up right now, I think even from Senate Majority Leader Schumer. So there's a bunch going on right now, folks. Market ended up making a big pop at 2 o'clock, but pulled back to the VWAP, looking at the SPY there, at least in the meantime, and trying to make another move, it seems, here off Powell's presser. So we'll see what comes of this presser as we scan the market from top to bottom. Coinbase is on the screen to begin. It's been a pretty interesting trade over the last week and a half, making a very strong run nonetheless from like 55 or even close to 50 up to 85 and change today. So that could be a stock we come back to, a little expensive, but a sideless stock nonetheless. Let's just start right from the top here. Probably going to find some stocks making some moves on their own accord, off their own news. Obviously, ZURA up over 307%. This does not care for Powell or care for the market really as a whole. So, I don't know why this ended up actually tripling up in price, but let me just double check here really quickly on Benzinga. ZURA, what's the news here? URA trading higher as the stock begins trading. Oh, as the stock begins trading on the Nasdaq. Typo from Benzinga there. Following the closing of its business combination with JAAT Acquisition Corp. All right, whatever headline that came out with there ended up popping. That was at like 12:30 in the afternoon or shortly prior to that. I mean, a little late even on the news release, but ended up having a huge pop in the morning. Ended up looking to get halted a few times on the way up and a couple times on the way down. You know my stance on this, folks. If you're looking to, go to the casino, if you're really looking to gamble today, hey, knock yourself out on this one. And really, I say it that bluntly because 99.9% of us inside our live trading room, at least, we all know that we're here to follow the big money, make educated decisions, and highly educated decisions at that. Can't be rolling the dice on this trade. So if you jumped in early, hey, congrats. But let's find something else, something better, easier on the eyes, that is not as extended, that has a tighter order book and all that good stuff. Actually, much of what we talked about in class earlier this morning, tight spread, good liquidity. This VORB trade, it's not really moving that great right now. It's up big technically on the morning or the afternoon, but we'll pass. Fausto had, just called out the pop on JMac here. It got halted on the way up. It looked good at first, but there was like no volume afterwards, though. That was just the disappointing part. GameStop ended up making some good money on this trade from the morning session early on and also from the after hours yesterday. But, for us here inside our live trading room, after the 8 o'clock move hit, it flattened out off 26, but eventually moved off it. Made a good move at the time, but ended up pulling back after the open, as you could see. And then heading into the early afternoon, oh, you know what? Never mind. I think it was on a different trade there. But you could see it's still lower highs, pulling back. This ended up dropping off quite a bit. Thankfully, right now it recovered. Just sideways here. So, there's better trades right now to follow than GameStop. And keep it going. Just kind of skimming down this list right now. Looks like the SPY's beginning to turn back over and holding under 400 there, perhaps off a false break. Looking at the last couple of bars on the 5-minute chart here. Again, I'll jump back to Benzinga, just get the headlines from Powell coming up in a moment. I'm sure he's flapping his gums as much as I'm flapping mine. So, DUO, hey, nice chart. It's near the highs or at the highs right now. Look at the bid here. This is a mess. So, just because it's at the highs, it's breaking multi-day highs at that. So, I mean, it looks strong on the chart, but there's just better trades to follow the big money on, right? So, not a big need to follow Duo just yet. I'll put it on the side list, though, I guess. INM, hey, up big, and I guess, damn, same thing with this, huh? We ended up trading this maybe the other day, right? Like last week, I think it was, or maybe Monday this week. It had a much better order book than what you're seeing here. If this could fill in just a little bit more, then I'll be more focused on this. We're at least more familiar with this INM trade. Actually, from like a year and a half ago, this stock ended up making like an enormous run, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, from like here this time. I mean, a bit of a gap up, but then pushed up at this point from like 14 up to 18 plus. That could be based off a reverse stock split, but obviously a huge run up here. Just hey, history has a tendency to repeat itself. So I say that not just in the sense of the run up, but hey, if this ends up exploding, it's not necessarily a swing trade. Just look what happened just the last time it ran up, it pulled right back down. All right, what else we got here? SCYX. Nice pop from earlier today, this stock from 170 up 50 cents up to like 230, 225. I didn't mean to click on that one, actually. That one as well. TBIO, I did. TBIO also had a nice pop from earlier today, but full reversal now, as you could see. Damn. All right. Not looking too good out there, huh? At least on the gainer side. I don't even know if we're going to find too much name brand wise that looks so weak on the way down that's on the losers list. Array's having a good day today. ARRY. I know Michael's a fan of that. Ended up popping up pretty nicely from the morning session. It looks all right. I mean, I don't mind slipping this on our list, but again, I'm not like fully in love with it. I'd rather have a better stock on the top of our list than that, even. All right. So I guess that takes me to the loser side. I mean, there could be more that's up. Nah, not even. All right. All right, so that's where I'm going to need your help, everyone, just for all of us inside our live trading room, then on social, just across the board. If there's anything that looks good, a sideless stock of your own, a stock that's moving with the market or making a move of its own, type it in the chat board. Let me know. Michael says, I was just watching Array. It's almost like I could read your mind. No, obviously, Michael's been with us so long. He knows my tendencies. I know his. So that's definitely been one that he's called out. He does well on. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I'd probably trade that earlier today, too. Oh, well, he had called it out at 12:46 in the afternoon, saying at the highs. But we keep going here on the loser side for right now. PXMD down big. If you could short it, it's hard to borrow from me. I'd be more interested in at least the more volatile bank stocks here. I got to fish through the loser side and all these different FRC tickers. So let me just go right to First Republic itself. I mean, it looks very choppy, but in terms of volatility, we do embrace volatility here, right? We've done really well on the stock on the way up in the last few days, or earlier this week at least, on the way down as a short. Looks like it's making a pretty good slingshot right now from 15 under and over. And on the Pack W trade, hey, I mean, for all of us inside our live trading room, I wrote it to you earlier. I said I'm a big fan of this stock so long as it could hold above 11 to 1108 as support. It's breaking under it here. So that's where you got to be careful. But on a day like today, you know what? We have Array on our list, but I'll put Pack W, FRC, just solely because of the volatility back on our list. Not really showing too great direction even. But you know what? On a day like today, those are the stocks that you do want to kind of have a better eye on. KeyBank, a little less volatile, but moving with the other bank stocks there too. I don't mind slipping that on our list also. Again, nothing I'm like truly in love with. I'm kind of just banking on the volatility out of the banking stocks there. No pun intended, honestly. All right, what else we got? From Sam on the ZURA trade, if I'm not mistaken, in Cybergroup says that's a SPAC, special purpose acquisition company. Hey, if it is, then we know how those go. We know how those have went. We know how those typically go long term. Gold making a nice pop. How about this? Oh, man. All right, so good push up on NUGT. There we go. And JNUG also. So, gold mining looking pretty good. I'll put those, or I'll put Nugget definitely on our list. JNUG will go with it, another ETF. Newmont Mining is an equity, a stock that would be very tradable too. Really good spread, good liquidity on the order book for this one. So I like it. Any other gold stocks that are making an even sharper move or up more percentage wise even? Maybe like a Pan American Silver. That's silver, not gold, obviously. AG, I think from the other day was pretty volatile, and that's up over 7.5%, making a great recovery from yesterday's move. I forgot about this once again. I said earlier inside our commentary in Cyber Group, I was like, I forgot about this stock from the morning. So, hey, hopefully a lot more left on AG. I'll definitely put Nugget, to represent the gold mining stocks and an ETF there, and then AG, this one in particular. Actually, EG, I'm going to put on the top of our list in full. Go to ALT. This was a potential dead cat bounce for us early this morning, but failed, and I haven't looked at it since. Totally dropped off again. All right, so in total, we got the 3 banking stocks. We got Nugget, we got EG, and we got Array. So that's in total 6. I'll take it. It's not a terrible list. I just wish that there was something that moving on the way up a lot better conviction. The gold, the metals altogether are looking pretty good. And hey, if the market ends up actually making another pop here coming up, perhaps there could be traction all around. I'll continue to go through one more time, folks. But again, we got class coming up at 3:05 Eastern time. Want to make sure our students have enough time to click the link, make sure they get ready for class. Hey, what? Normally there'd be a presser. There'd normally be a bunch of headlines coming out here from Powell's press conference, and I haven't had anything since 2:30. Is he even talking right now? Normally he's on at 2:30. Jan, nah, it's totally flat, Sam. Totally flat. Not worth it. Coinbase, again, pretty expensive, but making a pretty good slingshot now. It ended up actually diving off all the way down at damn 79 and pulled back. Sheesh. That's a huge move. So you know what? In terms of volatility, if we're going to focus on at least some of the more volatile plays that we've been trading over the last week or two, I'll actually put Mara and Coinbase both on our list in terms of that speculation, similar to the banking stocks. Brian says, X worth watching. And I mean, it's moving with the market to a degree, but that's where we got to pick and choose. We got to pick and choose as far as volatility. Even though Coinbase is more expensive than X, I just think it's more bang for the buck, even in terms of just the volatility. That could be an enormous move across the afternoon, up or down. Looks like it's trying to slingshot back up here. Again, I would certainly start and stick with this list. There's a reason why we just fished through the whole market for the last 13 minutes and running. So I would start with a couple of these stocks at least and then see where they go by 3 o'clock. And then once Rich is on, if there's nothing else really looking great from this watch list here, then we'll kind of dip outside. Then we'll kind of see what else is out there, folks. All right. Perfect. So for all of us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, the works, YouTube, etc. Hey, feel free to shoot me a quick email if you have any other questions. Josh@c2trading.com is my email. Post that right there so it's up front and center, or on the bottom left, either way. But nonetheless, though, if you wanted to join us inside our live trading room, just go right down to the link on the green banner below the stream right there to get yourself set up, to get yourself started. For Michael, for Dan, for Sam, for Bill, for Brian, and Kathleen, and all of us there live right now. Again, last call, just make sure that you folks click that link for those that have access to the Phase 1 stock course. We're going to begin that coming up in about T-minus 15 minutes, folks. All right, talk to you all there. Take care.